Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany if you're new here. I am living in Greece as an expat, and one of the questions that I've been getting lately is about money and banking. Did I open a bank account here? Should you open a bank account here? And how am I getting my money? So first, no, I did not yet open a Greek bank account, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that when I first moved here, I didn't have my residence permit, and I really didn't want to go through the whole process of trying to get a Greek bank account when I wasn't sure if I was even going to get a residence permit. And yes, I have finally gotten the residence permit, and I will link to that video down in the description box. The other thing is that it's really complicated to get a Greek bank account. It is not like in the US where you just kind of walk in with your ID and fill out some paperwork and leave. In fact, I think I opened my bank account online. I think you can do that here with some banks, but then you still have to physically go into the bank and give them all the paperwork. That's the other thing. They require a ton of paperwork. So from what I've heard, now I haven't done too much of my own research because I haven't really started this process yet. You need to have your ID, your AFIME, which is a tax number, and it's not has to do with like paying taxes. Although if you were paying taxes, you would use this number. I am not paying taxes here in Greece yet. That's a whole nother video. And you can get a tax number as a foreign resident, so don't worry about it. You will need this if you're going to rent an apartment or buy a car or even get a telephone contract. So you're probably gonna need this if you're moving here for any length of time. They are probably going to want to see your tax returns, whether they're here or in your home country. They may also want to see your lease on your apartment, or if you own your house, they're going to want to see that, and possibly a utility bill, like either the electric bill or that phone number that you have. They want to see that your address and that you're actually living here. They may ask you for other things, but these are the things that I've heard of. If you're working here in Greece, they may ask for a letter from your employer, and your employer should know what to give them. So as you can see, it's not a simple process. And from what I understand is some people go in, they have all their paperwork, and then they ask for something else. So you're not likely to get your bank account open the day that you have your appointment with the bank. It is what it is. Like, just expect it's going to take a long time, and as long as you're prepared for that, then you'll be fine. As I say in a lot of my videos, patience is key here in Greece because everything takes a little bit longer than you expect. Now, I don't have a bank account, so how am I getting my money? I use a company called Transferwise. It's like having an international bank account, but it's not a bank account. Basically, it's an account that I can transfer money into for a lot less fee, lower fee, and then withdraw it here in Greece. So I have a debit card attached to this account. I have my American bank account attached to it, so then I can transfer money into this. It's almost like a prepaid debit card. Like you put money on it and then you can pull it out. It's kind of how it works. But instead of me having to pay the $15 fee that I would have to pay from my bank, it's like usually it's based on the exchange rate too, so it does change a little bit. So I looked earlier today, and for me to transfer $100 US to this account, it would cost me 31 cents. Now, it does cost me money to take money out of the ATM here with this card. It's €2.50, and that's kind of that's the bank fee, the local banks charge here. Every month I get, I think it's 250 euros, maybe it's 200. I haven't looked in a while. Free a month withdrawals in cash. Now, my bank account my US bank account does allow me to withdraw money overseas. However, it's the €2.50 charge at the ATM plus $5 from my bank. Plus there's a transaction fee and the exchange rate. And sometimes that amounts to being $10 or $11 in total that I've spent to get my own money out of the bank. So as you can see, it's really not feasible to do that all the time. Like you just can't be paying these fees. It would become so ridiculously expensive to pay your bills here. The other thing is, because checks are not popular here in Europe and most of the rest of the world besides the US, this is how I pay my landlord my rent. So I send money electronically to her and to pay my rent. And depending on the exchange rate, it's anywhere from like 2 to 3 euros for me to send her this money. So obviously still cheaper than me sending my money directly from my US bank account to her. It would also be a lot slower. Like if you transfer money out of a US bank into another bank, it can take 2 or 3 days. Whereas with Transferwise, it usually takes like a couple of hours. So the nice thing is Transferwise, I put money in from my American bank account, it goes in automatically, and then I can transfer my money to my landlord, and that usually takes a couple of hours, but that's way better than 2 to 3 days. Because if it was 2 to 3 days, I would need to pay my rent a couple of days in advance, so it's not late. So I have linked to Transferwise in the description box, so that if you want to check them out for yourself, you can. They have a live exchange, like how much you would be moving money around and how much that would cost on their homepage. I didn't pay for the debit card I received. That part is free. They have a great app. It's how I pay my landlord. It's how I check my balance. It's pretty easy. And whenever I'd had an issue with them, they've gotten right back to me. This is not sponsored, but the link below is an affiliate link. So if you sign up, I get like a small cut of something. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up for the account either. So it's pretty simple. There are other companies that do this. I know of one called Revolut. I don't know if it works exactly in the same way in terms of like the rates and how it transfers, but it's similar in the setup. And you can also receive money this way. So like I've had friends pay me back for things in euros. So then I can just go withdraw euros from the bank account and it doesn't, or the ATM, and it doesn't cost me anything extra. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment box and I will be sure to get back to you. And I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.